And Mike, what do you see from the Tennessee defense?
They have a great defense, but a lot of holes. So it's going to be a lot of holes in their defense. So it's going to be a fun game.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. We started the stream inside of the wrong stream. I did. That was 100% my fault, but we're in the correct one now. But Ruck, he was just finishing up his thoughts on what Mike Washington had to say about the holes in Tennessee's defense. And Ruck, I don't know if you want to kind of like go back over what you said or if you just want to kind of like leave it as it is, but you had a lot of really good points. And then we're going to be getting to what Tim thinks about what Mike had to say about us.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. That's the wrong thing to say on a Wednesday, but it's not necessarily wrong. We have had a lot of holes this season without our starting defensive interior linemen. There have been a lot of busted plays. Traps have been working well, and that's the film that he's got to see. But lo and behold, you ain't seen what you're gonna see Saturday. So that's I'll leave it at that at this point. And I got something on Mike Washington Jr. once we dive in. So
all right, cool. All right, so Tim, what you think, bro?
I'm glad he said it. Hey, man, it is what it is. Every coach loves a little bit of bulletin board material. Once again, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. I'd also like to ask him, did he say the same thing about Memphis when he looked at their defense? Did you say, man, they've got a lot of holes everywhere? How did that go for you? Yeah, look, it is what it is. I can't wait for this game. I think it's going to be a good game. There's going to be some challenges, but I think the Vols are going to be ready for it, hopefully.
Yeah. So my follow-up question was just going to be, if y'all are like, let's just say you take this Tennessee defense with the coaching staff, with the players and all that, put them on a totally different team. Like, let's just say put them on Arkansas. And whether you're scouting them for your team coming up, or maybe you got a buddy that's a coach or maybe a fan of that team, and they're asking you, like, what would you do to this defense? What would y'all's answer be? So, Ruck, I'm going to start with you.
I would definitely say let's run a lot. Let's go outside zone because they're not setting the edge well right now. And 5 games in, and it's been a problem every game. And then I would say, honestly, like maybe try some read option with the quarterback, because if you're got a mobile guy, you can really put that in who crashes hard in really bad situations. And so really that's what I would say. I would say don't test number 8. I wouldn't test 8. But I would test the other guy. But that other guy is starting to play better right now. So that's kind of what I would say right now.
Okay. So, Tim, what would you say?
Well, you've heard me complain about it all year long. Tennessee setting the edge. That's been an issue. Attack the edges of the defense and see what happens. Hopefully Tennessee's going to be ready for that. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'd say. I mean, passing defense has been, look, we needed to tighten some things up a little bit in the defense. Missing a few, opening the middle field open a little bit there sometimes, but I think Tennessee will be ready for it.
Yeah. So I would probably say all those same things. I mean, we just talked about 3, 4, maybe even 5 things, right? But that's my whole point, is that we are talking about a team that, to Ruck's point, I think really to everybody's point, it has shown that we have holes on defense, but we are getting players back. We are getting back healthy. And I think that those young guys, they've stepped up. So this is going to be a challenge. That's just my thoughts on it from watching the film and all that type of stuff. I think this is going to be the biggest challenge that our defense has faced all year. And actually, there's a chat right here that I want to get to, and we are going to be very heavy in the chat. We said that in the previous stream. That was the wrong stream. So let me say that one more time, that we want for people to chime in. I'm going to try to get to every single one of these. We're going to be going at least until the injuries come out. Typically comes out at like 8:10. So also, y'all make sure to go and join Ruck's show after this. Okay, so his show is going to be following our show. All right, Ruck has an excellent channel. Make sure to go check him out. All right, so let me get to this chat from Colton Jones. So Colton is saying that Arkansas is far less scary than they were last year, but never know what Bobby P can cook up in this bye week, and that he will be coaching for the permanent head coaching spot. I think that that's a good point. I'm going to say, though, for me personally, I feel like Arkansas, I think this is a better Arkansas team we played last year, y'all. It's pretty much everybody's coming back. They lost one or two guys on defense. Like they lost a guy in edge rusher to the NFL. I think that they've got other guys that are going to be NFL players too. But I think their offensive line is much better. I think that just everything, like they are better. But we're also playing at home. So Neyland needs to be a big factor in this game. But those are just my thoughts. I think that this is kind of a scary matchup. You know, I keep on going back and forth from I feel great about it to I don't know. And right now I'm in the I don't know stage. By game day, might be feeling super great about it yet again. But let's go ahead and jump into you know what? Let's take a look at some of these stats. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? Because Tennessee's defense versus Arkansas's offense, y'all can see that Arkansas's offense is on the left, and they're winning in pretty much all these categories. So our defense just hasn't been great from a stat standpoint, but there's so many plays, man. And JPatt, he asked me last night, like, you know, what do you think about Tennessee's third down defense? And I went through, looked at all those clips, and it's like, man, it was like 4 or 5 out of the 30 that we gave up on third down. That was backups, you know, it was freshmen playing. And then, you know, it was other plays where it's just like little small things that's very, very fixable. So I think that our stats are pretty misleading with how strong this defense can be. But what are y'all's thoughts on that? Do you think Arkansas's offense is better this season? And do you think that Tennessee's defense is better, or do you think that it's worse versus last year? Rupp.
I would hope that it's better. I mean, you got a second-year quarterback right there from Taylor Green, right? Like, if you didn't get better, then we're all scratching our heads. I think Taylor Green's biggest issue is when he is pressured, he is very inaccurate with the football. And so if there's something, anything, a hand, anything, you can see his completion percentage drop low. I mean, I think you mentioned it was either yesterday or early today. You know, you even had him at a prediction going 17 of 34, like 50%. Like that's not good. That's not good. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, so we're factoring in a couple of bigger plays for him, which is what everybody's oohing and awing over with Taylor Green is he can do it, but he cannot consistently do it. And so I think the offense is definitely better. I think Mike Washington Jr. Is better than Jaquindon Jackson was last year. I think Jaquindon Jackson was a true power guy, right? Mm-hmm. Like he was a true downhill guy. I sure wish that Tennessee would have got Braylon Russell because that dude is he's godly. He's huge and he can actually move his body. So it's just weird that he's not getting as many carries. It is what it is there, I guess. But I think overall, Bull, if I had to put a percentage, I think this offense, to me, they might have got 10 to 15% better, but I don't think they just like, whoa, like they're that much better to me. Because it's like you mentioned, it is the same offense, so I hope they got better for sure. But Tennessee held that same offense really technically to, 13 points. They had 19, but we know how that happened. We let them score because we needed the football back. So it is what it is. I don't know. This is a weird game for me. This is a super strange game because if you look at history with this game, it's always been something that we've taken from each other. 98, right? We almost lost it, but guess what? It kept our season undefeated. In 99, they took that game away from us. And so it's a weird matchup, dude. Like I think definitely it's going to be one that Tennessee should definitely win at the end of the day because you're playing in Neyland Stadium and you protect that place. And Taylor Green ain't never seen anything like he will see as far as a crowd on Saturday, which I think that's going to have a lot more to play into it for him specifically and that offense on Saturday. So we'll see.
Okay. So Tim, what do you think?
Dude, I mean, I don't know that their offense is necessarily better. I think they're it's similar to how they were last year for sure. Is Tennessee's defense worse than last season? Yeah, I don't think that's even it's unquestionable. And the reason why is something that I've talked about all year. We lost some guys that just can't be replaced. Don't get me wrong. We've got some really, really talented young people, and I'm not hating on anybody. But we lost several people to the NFL off that defensive line. Omar Norman Lott, who's not playing bad at Kansas City, right? He's doing pretty good. James Pierce, he won the first round. we lost a lot of not only those guys, but we lost a lot of just big guys on there. We've still got some big guys, but
Mhm.
we don't have Big E. We don't have Big O. I mean, if your name starts with big, for being a large human. We lost just 3 guys. I was telling one of my friends, just 3 guys counted for 1,000 pounds off that defensive line.
Real.
That's crazy, right? I mean, some big dudes, and not only that, they were some big dudes that were really twitchy and just some run stopping maniacs. But here's one stat that I saw that was impressed me a lot about Tennessee this year is it's the youngest team in the SEC. 49% are freshmen. 49%. That's a really nice stat. If you've got a team that's looking pretty good and you've got 49% freshmen, that ought to put the SEC on blast. You better look out for these guys in the future because what they've got now is it's just going to get better. And the fact that we might be able to get Joey back for another year, I've seen Tennessee in a lot worse spaces than it is now. And you're right. They do have to come into Neyland. And look, there's only one team that's beaten Tennessee in Neyland. And who's that team? We all know who it is. Bull hates them.
That's Bull's favorite
That's
team.
Bull's favorite team. Yeah, but he's the only one to do it, right? And so, look, hopefully Neyland's going to get. I want it to be more rowdy and raucous than it was for Alabama. I was a little disappointed in that, honestly. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like record setting or anything crazy. So I'd like to see the crowd raucous, and then let's see what happens, man.
Yeah. Do you mean more than the Georgia game, or did you mean from?
Yeah. I'm sorry. More than the more than the Georgia game. I mean, it wasn't. Like decibel, they weren't setting any decibel records that game, which is kind of disappointing. That's if there's any one team that comes in that you want the crowd to show out in and just be nasty. Who else? Who else is it going to be? Like it should have been Georgia, but
Yeah, you're right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the same page with you. I definitely feel like Neyland needs to be much more of a factor than it was versus Georgia. I mean, we need to have an impact on this game because it kind of feels like, both of y'all think, well, maybe they're slightly better than they were last year on offense. I think that they are like significantly better. And I'm going to show y'all exactly what I'm talking about here in just a second. But let me get to some more of these chats. From my dog Chatsworth, saying, upvote number 3, great crew, great show. Ruck, dude, love your channel too. Love to see it, love to hear it. And I know that JPatt is working on getting himself back to the crib so he can join us as well. From TING 2024 saying that Arkansas has some studs. That's a fact. And that there are only so many defensive formations you can run. UT has seen them all. That's a fact.
That's real.
All right. And also saying that they will test Redmond, book it. Oh, I know for sure they're going to do it. And I'm about to show you what they can do down the field with their passing game. All right. So from Oreo Puppy Dog saying our defense has saved our bacon. And then I think that Nico lost that game last year overall. Now, see, I disagree with that, but it's always somebody's going to bring up Nico. I don't think that Nico lost that game. I think that, and I've talked about it, and this is something else that we will also talk about. Like, I want to focus a lot on Tennessee's defense versus Arkansas's offense because their defense is not going to look the same versus our offense this year. We changed our offense. I think it started in that game versus Arkansas because we couldn't do anything down the field. And we have film breakdowns that go back to that time that show you that. There was nothing open down the field, so it was really nothing we could do. But this year we have answers. I think that they'll have some answers too. It might be a little bit of a better matchup than some people might think. We put the video out earlier today. But this also from Oreo Puppy Dog saying that Smokey should hide Harley through the tunnel with the cheerleader on the back. That's hey, did y'all see? It's somebody put up a AI video on Twitter or something of Bobby P on a motorcycle doing like WWE efforts.
I saw the one where they did the AI stuff, but they put the faces on. It was from Anchorman. It's from Anchorman. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But yeah, I saw that.
Man, listen, AI is crazy. I seen the ones with Tupac and Biggie. Bro, like the ones with Tupac,
It's weird. It's
That
crazy, bro.
looks like him. It sounds like that's wild that they can do that. But so either way, though, I don't want to take it off the rails. So let me get to this next one. All right, so this one's also from Oreo Puppy Dog, saying that Joey in the offense points above Hooker in 2022. Joey in offense points above Hooker in 2022. Oh, okay. So we have more points than Hooker did at this point back in 2022.
I bet we do.
Wow.
If you think about it, I mean, we haven't scored less than 40 in one game yet.
Wow. I mean, which that does say a lot about our defense, though, for the games that have even been close. Now, last week, though, versus Mississippi State, obviously, I mean, we gave him so many short fields, and I mean, like that's going to happen sometimes.
Right.
Well, hopefully, it doesn't happen too much more moving forward. But I think that's part of the reason that they put up as many points, and the game was as close as it was. But as we've all stated, the defense is getting back healthy. So I'm going to get through some more of these chats. Let's see. I'm going to get to this one from JPatt saying Georgia is trash, garbage. We should have won. And put it on Hypo that he will learn from it and grow. Go Big Orange, FUGA. What do y'all think, man? Like, how much of that game can you put on Hypo? I mean, obviously, he's the head coach, but how much of the game can you really put on him? Because I think that he had a pretty good game plan, just kind of like a lack of execution sometimes.
Yeah, overall, yeah. Wow. I mean, what a masterpiece he put on that game. Like, you can tell he was in his bag all week. Like, he was all year, really. He was waiting for that defense again. You know what I mean? And so he did that. And I think when people look at the game and we say, it's on Hypo, I think they just look at those critical moments. And, when you get into formations or you get into moments like we had in that game, I think we had a couple of 4th and 2s on plus side territory and we played field instead of like what we knew Hypo was about. Like, he came in 21 and 22 and was like, man, I'm dropping, like, let's go. Like, we going for it. You know what I mean? And I don't know if we can count that as like, okay, he's developing into just like a coach, or if it's like he's losing that like kind of aggressive edge that he's been known for. I have noticed that. I mean, think about even in Mississippi State a couple weeks ago, we had 4th and 1 plus side and we punted and we played field position, which was great. But it's just, I can see a little bit of what JPatt was saying there a little bit just in that game, different times. But overall, dude, we missed a kick, y'all. And if the kick was made, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
Yeah. Tim, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I'll ride with what he said. Don't get me wrong. I had some moments that I questioned Hypo a little bit, but look, bro, it's miles above some of the past coaching. That's all I'll say on that.
Oh, yeah, so it's light years better.
Be thankful for what you have. It could be worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be way worse. Look around the country. There's a lot worse examples than Josh Heupel and having a number 1 or whatever the offense is ranked in the nation right now. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's the number 1 scoring offense in the country. So we back to putting up the points. And to like Ruck's point about, man, Hypo's not going for it as much. I think it's because he has more confidence in his team. I think he knows, man, we got some good players and we can find another way to win. So I don't think that he has to take as many risks and things. I think that's just me. But I personally don't put that game too much on. I don't put it on Hype really. I put it on the daggone field goal kicker, man. Like and it can't be all on him. There's a lot of things that we all could have done better, right? Or not us all, but that the team in several spots could have done better. But whenever they put you in a spot to go win the game, and all you do is kick, bro, you got to go win that damn game.
You got to win.
That's where I'm at, and I have no confidence in him moving forward. That's just me. Like you miss, he missed 1 versus Georgia. That's bad enough because I can't stand him. And then he almost did it again versus Mississippi State. I think. I mean, it's just like a consistent thing. I think that he's in his own head. If we can find another kicker, that's what I'd be doing. But I mean, that's just me. I have a low tolerance for those specialists messing up. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm gonna get to just a couple more, and then we're gonna get back to the show. So this one is saying, I think that the biggest question is, will Arkansas have enough confidence in the new coaches? There is a lot to be said for. Okay, well, listen, I think that that's very true. I feel like with the way that Mike Washington was talking in that clip, they got confidence because you could tell like that wasn't fake to me. I think that was real genuine. He really felt that way. And you could tell that the coaching staff has talked about it like that. And the other players, I think that that's just in their mind, whether it's true or not. Sometimes it's good to have your players feeling that type of confidence because if they have success early on, that carries over. They're like, oh, yeah, well, maybe it is easy, especially with the opening script. The opening script, things typically go pretty well. So, what are y'all's thoughts with that?
Here's what I'm going to say. When I told you earlier, I got something on Mike Washington.
Yeah.
I think this kid is a good football player. Don't get me wrong. He started his career at Buffalo, transferred to New Mexico State last season, played a year there, didn't have over 1,000 yards there. And this year, he's at, I think, like around 339 yards, not even the leading rusher on his team. His quarterback is.
Yeah.
And so I went back and I was like, man, let me dig into this guy just a little bit. If you take away 2 games, that 6.4 yards per carry goes way down to about 3.8 yards per carry.
Wow.
He had in their first game against I guess it was Alabama A&M. That first game against them, he went for 8.8 yards a carry. And then against Arkansas State, he had 12.9 yards per carry.
Sheesh.
That number is inflated, my family. And so the dude is he's still averaging without those, like I said, about 3.9 to 4.1 ish. If you kind of take some plays away and some TFLs that he had. But I think every running back playing us, if you've seen our film, would have that kind of confidence right now. I really do. Yeah. Just because we've been like early, think about Mississippi State early, man, we couldn't stop a cold. And then it's middle of the third quarter to the end of the fourth. We're like, that's who we are. We end up locking up the run game. And so if I were him, I'd say the same thing. But I do believe those numbers are hair inflated with his 6.4 yards per clip right now. But I do think like I said, I think he should be as confident as he is just based off of what he's seen on film. So.
Okay. Interesting. Tim, what do you think about the whole confidence thing with the new coaching staff and all that good stuff?
Well, somebody already said it in the chat earlier. Is Petrino? This isn't just a game for Petrino. This is a job application, right? I mean, this is if he, he's listen. This dude's he's gonna pull out all the stops. Better be ready for those freaking fake punts now that they watch that crap on film. Thanks for that. But look, it is what it is. I mean, Petrino's going to be Petrino. We know that. But I think the real story is going to be the Arkansas defense, right? I mean, I think Tennessee's defense is way better than Arkansas's defense, and I think Tennessee's offense is going to be able to do whatever the hell it wants on Arkansas's defense. I'm sorry, and it honestly, if your game plan is anything other than run the freaking ball every damn time, is what that's. Memphis, 300. How many yards? I got this stat right here.
It was too.
How many yards? It was too many yards. Too many yards. It was 300. They had what they had rushing. God, I had it right here. Anyway,
I want to say
it was over 300 yards.
I kind of feel like it was something like that.
Yeah, it was an insane amount of yards, man. Like they rushed for over 300 yards on Arkansas. And do you think Memphis's run offense is as good as Tennessee's? I don't think so. I think the run offense ought to eat. I think you ought to control the game. I think you need to just the standard coach stuff, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Win the turnover battle, win the line of scrimmage. That's going to determine this game. Yeah. That's it. I think Mr. Hurd is Lance is going to. I think this is going to be a statement game for him. That's what I think. I don't think he was happy with his performance. I bet he went back and watched that game a couple times, and I bet he did some. I bet he's planning to make a statement this game. Is what I bet. And good on him. The dude has turned. The difference between last year to this year with him is about the same difference as Chris Brazzell from last year to this year. That's what kind of a jump we're talking about. That's a major jump, man. Yeah. And Brazzell, they might double him. Okay. What about Bray? What about Mike? What about?
Yeah.
Ready. Yeah. I'm ready for this game, bro.
Oh yeah. And so, you know what? We're going to get to Tennessee's offense versus their defense here in just a second. The one thing that I will say is kind of be careful with looking at the rushing yards that they've given up, because most of that's come from read option with very mobile quarterbacks. I think that's one of the kryptonites to their defense. Not to say that they have like some juggernaut run stopping defense, but I'm just going to say it that way. Like some styles do make fights. I don't know necessarily that Tennessee's offensive style will match up the same way that Memphis's did or that Ole Miss's did, because a lot of those rushing yards came from the quarterbacks making things happen. So let me show y'all this real quick, and then we're going to get right back to the chat. So I just want to pull this up for y'all to show you how Tennessee played this read option versus Arkansas last year. So there were some good things that we did. Okay, this is the biggest thing that Tennessee needs to stop. I think that we did a really good job of limiting their quarterback's legs, which is hard to do. But whenever the running backs and stuff are talking that smack or talking that trash, or if it's anybody else that's a skill player, I mean, I think that you can kind of do it, because if you key in too much on the quarterback, other people are wide open to do things within this offensive scheme. This is a excellent scheme. They're running it a lot better than they did last year. And I'm going to show you the way that they're running it now. And I don't think that Tennessee even stopped it last year with the defense that, to me, was a lot better at stopping this type of stuff than what this one is showing. So this is just us doing a good job versus the read option, right? And they ran it 17 times. I think that we have 7 plays here where we did a good job. The other 10 wasn't great. So now we're getting to the bad ones. You see that motion coming across that gets right in front of that defensive end's face? Now the defensive end can't do anything. That's how it's looked this year versus everybody. The defensive end hasn't made a play in any game at any point at all versus this read option. And whenever I tell y'all that, I mean it sincerely. Coach Tim Banks has got to find a way to get our defensive ends to make a play on this. That is going to be the biggest thing. And, we're going to have passes in here. I'll show you some of the passes that we gave up. Their scheme, it's really difficult to stop. I know I've said it several times, but I want to make sure that people fully comprehend how much stress there is on the defense to get it figured out. Because what I'm kind of tired of hearing is the stuff about Tim Banks. Every time anything goes wrong, it's Tim Banks. It's Tim Banks. That right there is Mod. That's Mod in one-on-one coverage. Okay, that's him on a fade. He just got beat. Okay, and the only place that I think that Arkansas's offense isn't better at this year is with their wide receivers. I don't think that they're as good. They had like 2 dudes that were true NFL players. This is Mod 2. All right, so they had 2 dudes, but the whole point is just to say this: if we get beaten one-on-one or whatever, just understand that we're playing up against SEC level competition. This is a tough offense to stop. So I just wanted for y'all to see that this is all the man coverage stuff. You see that we're missing tackles, some of the same issues that we're having this season. And here now we're getting to the zone. So it's just showing you the play art of what the zone looks like on that side of the field, where the route's going is going to the hole in the zone every single time. One of the things with their offense is they come up to the line. Some offenses do this, others don't. They really do it like an NFL team, where you come up to the line and you literally, everybody's looking and checking for what's this coverage, and they're running automatic beaters for it. A lot of the stuff that they do, it's got automatic beaters already built into it for several different coverages. It's a nightmare. We run a lot of cover 6 versus this team too. And cover 6 to me is something that you run as a defensive coordinator when you have no idea what else to run. I'd love to see us try to run some cloud, but they make you look in the wrong spots. You have people open in so many different places. So being disciplined, playing with our eyes, making good sound fundamental tackles, all the stuff that Tim just talked about. Ruck, you've been talking about it too. That's what we're going to have to do. Just know that it's going to be a big challenge for this defense. So with all that being said, I'm going to get back into this chat. Let me get us back. Yeah.
Well, before you dive back into the chat, I have a question for you. Based off your film study just over the last couple of days watching this, what would you say at any time Taylor Green is in a handoff formation? Do you think it's 50-50 read, or is it 100% it's a read option?
So far this year, every time that it looks like it's an option, it is an option. You know what I'm saying? Like they run the option a lot. It's over 50%, I think, of their running plays, or it's very, very close to it. Now they also have they can pass out all the same looks that we just showed y'all. They can pass out all of that. So triple option, triple threat. You've got the running back, you've got the quarterback, then you've got a wide receiver somewhere down the field. So you just have to play very, very disciplined. But they do have just regular handoffs, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's just I'm just thinking about games I watched them. I'm like, and none of it looks like a design run ever, which is super hard to be disciplined at, which is what we struggle with. So that is one. I'm sure that's another thing they're looking at on film.
Yeah. I mean, it can. And look, this is going to kind of be good practice. I know that we got Vanderbilt at the end of the year. Vanderbilt runs a lot of similar stuff. Same. I don't think that they're as dangerous, obviously, as Arkansas is, but a lot of very, very similar triple option type stuff. We're gonna beat Vandy just because we always beat Vandy. And Ruck is getting kind of close, so you just let me know.
We'll do it.
All right. But yeah, so either way, I just wanted to kind of maybe like end things there and then hop back into the chat, see what people have to say, and then go and talk about Tennessee's offense versus their defense. Totally different matchup. Not as worried there. But yeah, this offense it's serious, and they're running it very, very, very well. All right, so let me see. Where was I at the last chat? Okay, I think that it was right here. Asking, is it a sure thing that Hobbs will be back? From what I've been hearing, yes. Okay,
Yes,
I know that Coach Heupel in the SEC press or what is it called? The SEC teleconference or whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
He was like, you know, if Heupel's going to be Heupel. He ain't going to tell you nothing, but it sounds like Hobbs is back. All right. Next one from JPatt saying at the last seconds were where we failed and that he made an amazing game plan and killed it. But that field goal setup was on him. Okay. Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Some people have said, hey, maybe we should have tried to score a touchdown in that situation. I definitely feel that. All right. So this one is from Chris Todd saying that if our defense can start getting off the field on 3rd and longs, 4th and longs, this team will play for an SEC championship. I think that's a pretty interesting point. And let me just bring this back up real quick and show you where Tennessee's at from a 3rd down standpoint on defense. All right. So we are currently ranked. Where are we at? We're number 46 in 3rd downs. So we're at 35%. Like I said, there were 4 plays that I went in. It was 4, maybe 5 plays that I went in and looked at. And it was straight up freshmen playing in scrub time. If those 4 plays are taken out, Tennessee jumps up to the top 20. That's how small the difference for error is in this thing. So, I mean, I know that it feels like, man, Tennessee's doing a terrible job, but what's the numbers here? It's been 90 attempts. So we've only given up like 30-something. This is saying 30-something, 3rd downs. That's not horrible. There's a lot that we're doing a good job with, but I totally get your point. And let me see if this thing is up, Ruck, because maybe we can take a look at this real quick before you got to skate out. Nope, has not come up yet. All right,
2 more minutes.
All right. So let me get back to the chat. All right, let me try to get in some more. Or you know what? Actually, Ruck, give me your closing thoughts since you got to go. I would like to know like what's your overall kind of like closing thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I like this game for Tennessee, right? I think last year both teams were coming off a bye week. Arkansas was coming off a bye week playing at home. Tennessee was coming off a bye week going on the road. Well, now we get to do it the complete opposite way. Tennessee's coming off a bye week at home. Arkansas is coming off a bye week on the road in the best stadium in the SEC. Ask DJ Lagway. Ask Tim Tebow. Ask him what was the loudest place they played outside of the place they've been at, as far as the Swamp. Ask Baker Mayfield what was the loudest place he played at, right? It's not a fun place to play for a visitor. It's not fun. I mean, you can go watch our Georgia people. Go watch Zach Branch talk about Neyland Stadium. He was like, I've never seen anything like it, ever. And we're mad that it wasn't louder. But he's like, I've never seen. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Taylor Green has not seen what he's going to see. And so I have to say, I think Heupel in this offense, it's unstoppable right now. I haven't seen anything from anyone that I'm like, yep, you're definitely going to stop them. And nothing with Arkansas makes me think that they're going to be able to stop this. And so I think defensively, we got to be better. I think, 3rd down and distance, man, let's make these guys play behind the sticks on 2nd down. Like that's when Tennessee is really, really dangerous. If you can get a TFL or a sack on 1st down, now you're playing in front. Like now you're playing how you want to play. You can call what you want to call at this point, because now you put them in a really, really bad and a sticky situation. So I think overall Tennessee gets the job done. I really don't have a score yet. It's one of those weeks where I'm like, I'm just going to kind of let it play out till Friday and then I'll decide. But I like Tennessee in this matchup. You just gave Joey Aguilar and this offense a week off. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's bad. But I think in this case, you get a good reset. And it's going to be it might be some fireworks. That's what I'm going to say. Okay.
Love that, man. Love that. All right. So tell the people where they can find you at, because I know that y'all got a show coming up tonight as well.
Yeah, guys, 8:30 Eastern. We'll be right there on YouTube, Facebook as well. Just straight up Tennessee, man. We'll see y'all in about 20 minutes or so. So yeah, just tap in, man. Stay here. Do not leave here. Stay right here. And then once this is over, come hang out with the boys, man.
Cool. Right on, all right, bro. Hey, listen, appreciate you as always, bro. And I'm going to be tuning in as well as soon as I get done with this stream.
Always, bros.
All right, peace.
See y'all.
Have a good one, brother.
All right, so I'm gonna get back to this chat, Tim. Hey, look, it's always good just kicking it with Ruck, man. He's a good dude. Just always brings it. So very
Right on.
thankful for him. All right, so this one's coming from Abby saying, I think that the offense will play well enough to win, but the defense, or I thought maybe she said, I think that the offense did play well enough to win, but the defense didn't. Okay, so maybe she's talking about that Georgia game because I see that that's still going up. Actually, let's go ahead and switch over to the offensive side of things now, Tim, and let's start to talk about it because we've talked enough about how Tennessee's defense is going to look versus a very tough offense. Now, whenever you flip these stats over, Tennessee's offense is winning in most of these categories, just like Syracuse. I'm sorry, just like Arkansas's is. And I think that we're gonna, obviously it's a new defensive coordinator. They're gonna mix some things up, but I still think, kind of like Tim said, it's a lot of things that we could do well versus them. We just have to. It's curious because what are they going to do, right? Like the styles do make the fights. They might have a really good game plan for what Tennessee likes to do. Then we have to go to something else that we don't typically run as much. But we got a really deep playbook now. We got a really deep bag. So I think that we should have the answers for pretty much anything. So it might be a good test for us. This is just the talent, and y'all can see that it's pretty close. So Tennessee has 20 blue chip caliber players, and Arkansas has 14. So it's not as big of a gap as some people might think. It's closer than it was last season. I can definitely tell you that. And then we can move on. This is their like 2 deep on their roster. You can see up front with all the players in red, that's their defensive line. Big dudes, all right, whole lot of big dudes. So they can play a 3-man front, so that odd front. They can play the even front. I think that we'll see like a lot of kind of like 5-man fronts with some stand-up ends. They love to do that. Try to stop all the running lanes. And that's something that the new defensive coordinator really likes to do. I know that they did it some with the previous one, but I think that the new one's going to try to do it even more. That's just more like NFL style. And then you can see how their linebackers look. Good size. They're all really good athletes. And then their secondary, they all have pretty good size. I think it might be one guy that's under 6 foot tall, but everybody else 6'1", 6'2". So long guys who can play really good man-to-man coverage. I think that they're going to try to dial up blitzes as much as possible. And like I said, I think it's going to be a challenge. Tim, what are your thoughts? I know that you kind of spoke on it, but tell me more about like what you see maybe their defense trying to do to Tennessee to maybe try to slow down what we do with our offense.
Well, here's what I'll say to this. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to be able to change, right? I mean, like they didn't go out and recruit a whole new bunch of talent or anything like that. I think changing too much could be in Tennessee's favor, honestly. If they start changing and throwing in a bunch of stuff where they have to communicate and then they have to come in and kneeling and against a tempo offense, that creates communication issues, right? So, that could work in Tennessee's favor if they change too much. There's too many new wrinkles. I don't know that there's that much they can do on that. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they'll move some more guys up front and try to clog up the run lanes. Well, that just means there's probably going to be somebody wide open running somewhere. Especially if you're thinking about doubling Brazel, right? I trust Bray. I trust Mike. I definitely trust Mr. Aguilar. Huge fan of that kid. What he's been able to do this year, like what a story. Trust all our guys offensively. I don't think I have anybody on the offense that I don't trust. The offensive line is night and day different from when we played them last year. We're playing at home. I think the offense is going to be able to do pretty much whatever it wants. The story is really going to be Tennessee's defense versus Arkansas's offense. Can you get a stop? You know what I mean? Can Tennessee's defense score? We've scored in a lot of games this year. Can we get another score at home? That would be amazing. But I'm looking for big things from the offense, man.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a break from that real quick and take a look at these injuries, right? Because this thing just came out. So for Arkansas, there are a lot of people that are listed as out. And I can't. All right. So number 17, he's a wide receiver. He is one of their guys. Him being out might be, obviously you never want anybody to ever be out. So don't take it that way. But I'm just saying some of their guys, 17, I think he is one of their guys. I've seen him out there. I think that might be. Oh, and then 92, he's going to be one of their guys too. you know, they have a lot of wide receivers. They got 3 right here that are listed as out, but that's pretty much it that I know of. I'm not sure about number 8 just because I haven't done a super deep dive into the numbers of most of their secondary players, just because I think that they're, you know, they look good as a unit in coverage, but I don't think that it's, you know, it's nothing like that where they have one guy, number 23. That's their best secondary player. The other ones, they're just, you know, SEC caliber secondary guys. So for Tennessee, this is a good looking list, Tim.
It's a very good looking list. It would be a lot better if, let's say, that guy that was number 3 was not on it, but it is what it is. You know, I mean, we know Ricky's not coming back this season, and I, you know, I don't want anybody to think, you know, that I was saying, oh, you know, something bad about Ricky, but it's just because we knew that Ricky was, at least from what I've heard, is not returning this season. I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go deep into the playoffs, but even then, I don't know. That's a pretty wild injury. That's a pretty good looking injury report, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's about as good as it's looked all season long.
It hasn't been that good all season. I don't see Mr. Hobbs on there, right? And I think that's a key piece to get back for this defense, and which could change a lot of things, because I think you could move Dom to outside, and you know, what we said about setting the edge. Well, you know, maybe Dom does a better job setting the edge there. Then you put Joshua on the other side, and I don't know. I feel pretty confident in that kind of contain. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's the best looking injury report we've seen all season, and that's. I'm going to shut up and be happy about it.
Yeah, I think that it is excellent news. So the only person that's questionable is Ethan Davis, and it would be nice to get him back. You know what I'm saying? Just to add some more depth. Obviously, just getting back anybody, getting back everybody.
It would be, and I'm not hating on him, but I tell you what, man, when you have guys that come in and make plays like Jack Van Doorslayer did in that game with some really, really good looking blocks. And, you know, like that's big time. And if you're getting that from a freshman, and then you say you get him healthy, or you get Brame, I don't know if Brame's been dinged up or not, or anything like that, as to why we haven't seen him much this year or not. But of course, you know, could be just learning the offense and everything too. But you know, it could look a lot worse than what it does now. But
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's way deeper than we've been. You know, I want to see Ra come back too, because he's going to be a stud. You know,
yeah,
he's going to be a stud. Okay, so what I want to do now is take a look at Tennessee stats. All right, how about that? So we could talk more about the offense. I think that we're doing some beautiful things. Hopefully, y'all can see this well. But you know, Joey Aguilar, he's at about 65% on the year. I think that looks good. Can we get him by season end to somewhere closer to 70? Because we talked about that, like middle 8, like that little spurt where, man, the passes aren't quite as crisp, or wide receivers and tight ends and running backs are dropping the damn footballs. The only thing about this offense, catch the damn football. Stop dropping the ball. I'm hoping and praying that we have 0 drops in this game, because we're leading the SEC in drops right now. We almost led the SEC in drops last season. You know, I think we were Georgia and Texas were tied in first place. We were right behind them. We got to clean that up. So if that happens, obviously these numbers look great. Okay, I don't know what his per game average is as far as, you know, whatever, but dude, he's doing a great job. Now, as far as running the football, our running backs are averaging as a unit 5.1 yards per carry. Okay, hopefully y'all can see this, 5.1 yards per carry. Bishop doing a great job, almost 7 yards per. Star Thomas at almost 6, and then we got Peyton Lewis at about 5. Morris, he's at about 5. He's off of that list, so he's going to be back. He's another guy. What are you thinking about like special teams, Tim? Because I know that Booz muffed some. Obviously, Staley, he muffed one and kind of messed up on a different one last week. But what do you think about who do you want back there? Like, would you say, man, let's just keep Boo, or would you like to see Morris back there too?
I'd like to see Morris back there, honestly. Some. I mean, I think the reason why we haven't seen him in a while is he got banged up himself, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen that kid. I've only seen limited amounts of Mr. Morris, but when I have seen him, he's flashed. I've seen some really that one run play I saw him. It was in trash time, I know, but
Even still,
he put his foot in the dirt and made two guys miss in two different moves in like 0.5 seconds. It was pretty wild. I was like, wow, that's something. But he's been impressive. He's from where I'm at, man. He's from Murfreesboro. I'd like to see him. I just like to see some consistency, right? Pick a guy.
Yeah.
Pick a guy and put him back there. And
Mhm.
hopefully somebody who's not going to turn the ball over. That's all I
Yeah.
got to say on that.
All right, so let me get back to this chat. All right, let me get back to the chat and try to chime in with everybody. So JPatt saying that Hypo will learn from these things and become one of the best. I think that he's well on his way, and that's a good point because you can kind of tell where he's growing as a coach. But one of my biggest things, and I've said this several times, but watching him be able to change and deviate from his offensive structure that he built, right? I mean, of course, he kind of like took the base of it from somebody else, but he built on that. And like he's willing to change. He's willing to do what it takes to win. He has a great staff. He's going out and adding more people. He holds on to his staff. I mean, we have the makings of, I think, a really great program for a long time. So, yeah, I'm super proud of Hypo. I don't have a whole lot of negative things to say about him. Typically, I feel like whenever something goes wrong, as so far this year, it's probably on somebody else. Like, it's probably somebody else's fault. Somebody probably didn't execute somewhere because he's doing a really nice job. Now, he can't always get better, just like everybody, but I just think that it's such a kind of like small thing. But this right here is saying the two top 10 teams going down this Saturday, so we need to get this game to get in the top 10. Yeah, man, and to me, I don't really start paying attention too much to the polls until the college football poll comes out. Like once the CFP, once that comes out, then that's when stuff starts to matter because this AP poll stuff, you know, I know that some people love it, but it doesn't really matter to me.
It's
I think
garbage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we got people up there voting it. I don't remember what that person said. Like they said something so dumb that I don't even know what it was. It was like, I mean, come on, like you've got to know ball, like you've got to watch the games. You can't just pick people because of the colors of their jerseys and stuff like that. That's crazy. So yeah, take that stuff with a grain of salt. So JPatt saying not on topic, but I was up in AT. Oh yeah, the traffic is horrible for sure. From Fred, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your last name. Sorry about that, Fred. But I think that this game is going to get ugly early. Okay, like 35-10, and Vols play on cruise control in the second half. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it, Tim?
It would. I don't know that it's going to be that way, but if it goes that way, I'm going to be very happy.
Yeah. Yep, they sure do. They love to hit that edge. We talked about that earlier today. Hey, Red. Yeah, Tennessee is going to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good about it, but you know, I guess my question really is, by how much? Can we look dominant doing it? You know what I'm saying? I keep on going back and forth. You know what I mean? I guess I'm more so waiting to see what their defense is going to look like. Once I see our offense go out there, if we go straight down the field, and then if we come out on the second drive and it's looking like more of the same, if we're able to kind of switch some things up, and we're still finding success, if Tim, to your point, if we can run the football well, then I'm going to feel great about it. All right. Okay. All right, cool, man. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Let me get on down this one right here from Slick 420, saying that they just ordered a George McIntyre jersey. Hopefully he does not hit the portal. I don't think that he will, but we talked about this, Tim. So I think that if Joey Aguilar stays for one more year, I could see either him or Faison leaving. I think that Merck is probably gone either way. But those are the two that we want to try to hold on to. Not the end of the world if we can hold on to at least one of them. But I could see that happening. I'm not sure what you think about that, Tim.
I don't think Merck. I don't think Faison would leave just because Joey comes back. Because don't get me wrong. I don't know how much he's thinking that he's going to play if he's really got it in his head that you know, he's going to start his freshman year. That is a huge ask for any quarterback to go up against SEC defenses and knowing how to read them and knowing how to do all the things. It's a different world, man. Don't get me wrong. I think Faison is special. I think GMAC's going to be special too.
Yeah.
Do I think that we can hold on to all of them? Maybe we could hold on to all of them next season. Do I think McIntyre stays? Obviously not. No, I think he'll hit the portal into this season for sure, especially if Joey comes back. GMAC, I think he'd probably stay. I don't know. I mean, listen, these are young men. You just don't know what they're going to do. But I could see us holding all three of them, and then obviously when Joey's gone, whoever doesn't win the competition between GMAC and Faison, if they're both be here, then we're probably losing one, right? But that's a long way down the road, and
Yeah.
nothing I care about right now, man. I just want to beat Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get through this. Let's just get through this week, and ball out and have a great game, and worry about all the futuristic problems later on down the road.
Yep. I think so, man. You just got to try to handle business here and now. Like,
Yes.
we got to try to win right now. Worry about the rest of that stuff later on, because a million different things could happen, right? That could maybe be beneficial for Tennessee on either side of that. But right here, so Oreo Puppy Dog is saying that Joey plays better under pressure than Nico did in this game last year. Hopefully he does. We're going to need for him to be like that Joe Cool that he is sometimes, man, where he just very, very like even killed. He has great pocket presence, keep his eyes down the field and make some things happen for us. And this one is saying who will take the Arkansas DB's place? Do I think? I have no idea. And this one is saying that he wasn't even a starter. So maybe nobody needs to take his place. You know what I mean? I think that it's not really going to make too much of a difference either way, whether that was a starter or not. I just think that Tennessee, our wide receivers are gonna have to win. Like, they're just gonna have to win individual, like one-on-one coverage. Tim, you pointed out several times that Brazo might get that double team. They can't double team him for the whole game. At least I don't think they do.
No,
if they do, though, we will run it down. That's all we can do that. That's gonna make it get real ugly real quick, I think.
Yeah. If they do that to Brazel, somebody else is going to have a 100-yard game. That's just what it's going to be. Maybe two people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Facts. All right, so this one right here is saying that they heard the mod is really wanting to play, but his camp said shut it down and wait for pro day because he was practicing too hard to get game ready and had knee pain and swelling. I mean, listen, this is my whole thing with mod is that I had heard previously, like a couple of weeks ago or, whatever, that he actually wanted to come back and play. Maybe it is something going on with the swelling in his knee that's setting things back. But to me, okay, not going off of like real inside knowledge, it's kind of like my thoughts. Him not practicing physically at this point, I'm wondering when can he come back and it makes any sense? Because we got Alabama next week, and I don't even know who we have after that. I mean, but it's a bunch of like SEC teams and things just get more critical, right? Like teams start to get better and better and better. He's missed most of the year. I don't know. Maybe he will try to come back. I don't know how true what you said is, but that sounds pretty accurate to me. I'm just going to say it that way. That sounds pretty accurate to me. All right, so this next one from Slick420 saying, okay, so just asking about that. And, okay, so I heard that from Volvolt. I'm not quite sure what that is. All right, so Oreo Puppy Doll thinks that Boo was going to, or I thought that Boo was going to play some offense. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like it.
Obviously
I don't
not.
think he really needs to now, right?
Yeah, well, number one, the thing with that, and we heard that talked about. Oh, well, maybe they'll, and that was mostly a fan thing. I never heard Heupel say that. I never heard anybody else say that. Would you? I mean, think. We talk about the transfer portal a lot. I mean, would you really set Braylon down or somebody else so you could put Boo in for? I don't think so, man. I don't know how good that would be for wide receiver chemistry. And when you're trying to bring in people like Tristan Keys and all this, I don't know, man. I think Boo's special when he has the ball in his hand. Maybe not run as much when there's not that much time on the clock, but hey, I think he's electric when he's got the ball in his hands. He can work some magic. I mean, the kid is definitely special. But as far as like setting a receiver to put him in, if somebody got hurt, yes, I could see that.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing is that he needs to be practicing on offense just in case. And like, I hate to even talk about it, but it's true because behind him right now, there's really not that much. Or behind what we have, like our starters, they play very well. But Ra is still banged up. I like what I've seen from Travis Smith. It's really not a lot outside of that. So I think he needs to be practicing. It would be foolish for him not to be because he's one of the only options that we have. Don't wait till it's too late and then start trying to throw somebody out there. Look, if he's part of the team, he's got to be part of the damn team. Like he's got to be able to help us everywhere that he possibly can because I don't know if he's going to be here next season. So I mean, it wouldn't matter either way. You got to get the most out of these guys, I think, while you can. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I mean, to me, doesn't look like he's going to be playing offense this season. Okay, so let me see. Let's see what else we got. All right, so this one. All right, so that's talking to him. So this one is from Omar. Thank you for joining us. Asking, do we think that Hypo can win us a natty? Oh, dude. I mean, 1,000,000,000% for sure, bro. Like we're really, really close. I think we might be able to win it this year. That's just me. I think that we have a team that's by the end of the year, we'll be, I think, good enough that we could beat it. I still think, like right now, we're probably good enough that we could beat anybody. We'll see how the defense looks. But Tim, what do you think about Hypo winning us a natty?
Well, he can. I mean, I think he can. I mean, it's just, can we get all the pieces all together? This year, look, it looks like offense is freaking amazing and defense is kind of, can we tighten some things up? And that's all we need to do. Honestly, I think we're getting healthy at the right time. I haven't seen anybody that looks like they're just a dominant team this year that's just like, they're going to, okay, Ohio State's number one, but who have they played? Like, what's going on? We just saw Florida beat Texas, that everybody counted Florida for dead. I think we're seeing more parity in the SEC, 100% more parity in the SEC, and not only that, but also in the nation. So I mean, dude, we just watched Nico beat James Franklin, beat the brakes off your boy.
Crazy.
Look, he seems like a very nice guy and all that, but the fact that UCLA had led for 0 seconds all season, and the number 7 team came in there, and I don't know, man, that's the wildest thing. Literally a kid that looked like Dennis the Menace beat a defensive coordinator that's making $3 million a year. Like, there will be a 30 for 30 on this most likely at some point.
Yeah, and two, like, I think that, like, to that point, it goes to show how much coaching can really change things, because they lose their whole staff. And I know that you said earlier that you don't think that the defense, of course, it's a limit on how much they can change. That is definitely true. But it doesn't typically take a lot of a change with the defense, right? Like, little small tweaks can make a huge, huge difference. And offense, it could maybe be the same thing. Now, offense is where it's like, it's tough to like install a bunch of different stuff on offense. That's, I think, a little bit more difficult. But if they're going to be dumbing things down and just playing faster and just playing without having to think too much, I can see that being very, very beneficial for them. I know that we're supposed to be talking more about the offense, but we're going to try to get through these chats. So let me try to speed through this. So did I skip one? Okay, so now that's just people talking back and forth. All right, so Adam said that he doesn't think that McIntyre will leave, but Mark definitely will. There is a reason that Hype went and got Aguilar. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I also think part of the reason is we only had 2 quarterbacks. I think that you had to, and one was a true freshman. I think that you had to bring somebody in for a competition.
Yeah, but
it might be the same way next year too if Joey leaves.
Well, yeah, but let's say this too. Hype didn't know that the Joey we got is the Joey we got, right? When he went after him, he went after him because same reason Nico went to UCLA. He didn't have a choice. It's not like he wanted to go to UCLA. Like, listen, man, don't listen to any of that bullshit. Like, everybody else had already, there was nowhere left to go. It was either he went to UCLA or he was probably going to have to set out a season. Like, it was that bad. Like, that's a wild situation.
That was real stupid. Like, honestly speaking, and I'm sure that whoever it was who told him to make that move feels really dumb. Like, sometimes you just need to.
No, they don't. No, because some people don't know they're dumb. That's why.
That's a sad situation. That's a really sad situation.
You're looking at narcissism at its finest. You're looking at somebody who can't be wrong. And look, that's a special situation. There's a lot of things that are going to be talked about on that for a very long time.
Yeah,
but
for sure. All right, so we're gonna try to keep it moving. So this one right here from Slick saying that they think that Mod basically comes back like at the end of the year. I mean, and listen, I think that's possible, but again, you just have to ask yourself. You just have to ask yourself, if you're in that situation, and I hate to say it, but like, what is the point? And you like, what is the point? There really isn't. I don't think that you can help yourself. And I hate saying it, but this is just me. I don't think that you can help yourself coming back that late. I don't. I think that you could probably only hurt yourself. That's just me. So I don't know what he's going to do. I'm not speaking for him. I'm just telling you how I see it. And then this right here, Adam Fowler saying that Mod has no draft stock without playing, period. It's college football. Don't believe. So I disagree with that thoroughly too. I mean, and I know that people have thrown that out there, but it's just not true. You know, like that's just not true. What NFL scouts care about is the NFL teams that they're coaching for. Can this player help us play? It wouldn't matter if you, I mean, you know, like maybe haven't played in like a year or two, maybe. But if you're that good, if they can see the talent, because that's what they do. If they see the talent, if they say, hey, this guy can help us, then they're going to bring you in, you know? And I think that Mod is at that point. It's like first round grade right now. It might drop down some. But if he goes to his pro day, if he goes to the combine, if he runs well, if he tests well, because they're going to put him through a whole lot of different tests, medical tests, whatever. If he does well with all that, he's at least a second round pick without playing a snap in college football. That's what people I think need to realize. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's probably too late now. I think it's probably too late for him to come back and it'd be anyway beneficial to him for his draft stock this year. And that's what these players really play for. He wants to play for his teammates. He wants to be back, but he's got to be smart about what he's doing too. That's just, and I'm not speaking for him. I'm just telling you how I think he might be thinking. He might be totally opposite of what I just said. But Tim, what do you think about it?
Well, what I'll say on that is obviously the deeper we get into the season, definitely the less benefit there is for him to come back. Like why? At that point, why, you know, like you said, the only thing, you know, you're just risking injury. You're risking like, what if you come back and, you know, you weren't quite ready yet. And then you get back and, you know, put something on tape that you don't want there. Right. Like there's the risk reward in this is, the deeper it goes in the season, there's a lot less reward for him with a lot more risk, is what I'll say to that. So, look, do I want him to come back? Yes, I do. But if he doesn't, then it is what it is. We made it this far without him. Don't get me wrong. I think we'd have a much better run with him, but without him, we've managed to make it so far against some pretty good play. So.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of is what it is at this point. So we will see what happens. Nobody has like a crystal ball here, so don't take it that way. We're just telling y'all how we see this situation. All right. So this next one is from Oreo Puppy Dog. We just got a few more. I saying that I was thinking maybe Boo trick plays. Was hoping. I mean, I would love that too. You know, I think that Tennessee needs to run more jet sweeps, and we need to run some trick plays. I would love to see that. That would be great versus, I think it's great versus most defenses. You know what I mean? So maybe we got some, everyone keeps on talking about what's Bobby P going to do differently. Well, what are we going to do? We might have been installing some totally new stuff. Who knows? But yeah, I would love to see that happen. I don't know if that's in the cards for Boo at this point. I don't know. So this one's saying that he definitely needs to come back if he can go put some good tape out to hold that draft stock. But if he can't, then he can't, and he can show out at the combine and prove himself. Yeah. So I think that's very factual. All right. So this one's saying that Boo is a special player with the ball in his hands. Same thing I thought about D. Williams a couple of years ago. Yeah. I think that they're both really good. I mean, I think that Boo might be even more special. You know, Boo's super twitchy. So Tony Swanson is saying that not overlooking the Arkansas game, but does anyone else see a type of 2022 game for the Bama game? Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think that there will be some differences just because that's not, again, like, you know, Tennessee hadn't beat Alabama in such a long time. So just like the magic in that situation, I don't think that we could probably replicate that because Tennessee's too good. Like if we go down to Tuscaloosa and win that game, it's not like a huge shocker. I mean, it'd be big for us as fans, obviously, but it's not some huge shocker. Will it be close like that? Will it be like a high scoring game like that? I don't know, Tim. What are your thoughts on that?
What, on the Bama game?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's going to depend on what happens this weekend. I'll just tell you right now, if they go up there and they beat Missouri, and they come back home and they're feeling, hey, I'd much rather that than they go up to Missouri. Missouri beats the brakes off of them somehow, and then they come back licking their wounds, and then they're, we got to prove we're Bama, and then that's what we don't want to happen when we go in and have to play them at home. Look, college football is college football. There's a million different ways it could go. I think Tennessee has a true chance to be able to win at Alabama this year if we continue to play like we're playing now. Let's see how I feel after this Arkansas game. Let's see how this plays out, because honestly, I think this is the first one of the big keystone big tests for us this year, and mainly because we haven't seen a insanely mobile quarterback like we're about to face. And we're getting ready to see a lot of insanely mobile quarterbacks moving forward. So depending on how Tennessee plays this game is pretty much how my season hopes are going to go from here forward.
Yeah, I think that, just to kind of like go back to the Bama thing real quick, I think that, to your point, we match up very well versus Alabama. I mean, very well. It's just always about going down to Tuscaloosa and those referees cheating. I know that I always say it, but it's because I sincerely mean it. And I think that if the game was fair, that's one of those that I'm not really too concerned about it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that we match up perfectly for them. Just like, I mean, we match up as good for them as we don't match up well, like from a defensive structure and the offensive structure standpoint with Arkansas. I think it's like total opposite ends of the spectrum. We match up perfectly with Alabama. Offense, defense, probably special teams. You know, that's just me. I think that's, you know, if the referees let us play, we will win that game. Let me get to some more of these, and we are getting very close. Okay, so we already saw that one. So this one is from Chatsworth. Saying that don't know they're dumb yet. That was a funny comment. All right, hey, thank you, Chatsworth. I know that you're probably not with us, but if you see this on the if you watch this again and you see us saying that, thank you so much. And JPatt, eating some peach cobbler. Sounds good, man, with some Georgia peaches. Sounds great. All right, thank you so much for that. God, guns, and ammo. We need the gumps to be riding high. Yeah. I think so, man. Just like Tim said, I think that that's a really, really good point. And if we can have a complete game without turnovers, we will be in control of our destiny. I think so.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and so this one right here is saying that this game comes down to not beating ourselves and containing green. That's a fact. That's
100%.
A fact. And then last one right here from Adam Fowler. Do I think that Mizzou will beat Bama? I do personally. We don't want for that to happen, but yeah. I think that that's going to happen. Tim, do you think that that they're going to pull it off?
I think Missouri can beat Bama. I think they've got enough weapons that they can beat Bama. Will they? Man, I'm not going there. Listen, there's look, I'm not great at game predictions. I'll tell you who will win, who I think can win, but I'm very what about? You know what I mean? What about this? What about that? I question everything, and I'll talk myself out of it. So I just say, maybe. I think that's. Will Alabama win? I don't know. I think they can win. I think Missouri's home field doesn't pose much of a threat whatsoever. No. The question is, can Alabama go up there and assert themselves? If Missouri can punch them in the mouth, and see how good that offense is. My request, I haven't watched enough Missouri. The only problem is I think Missouri is, who has Missouri played so far?
They haven't played anybody. I think that the best team that they've played is South Carolina, and that was a really close game. So that does scare you.
That's not looking like a great win right about now, is it?
Yeah,
it's not as good as everybody thought it was at the beginning of the season.
No.
So
yeah, I mean, I don't even. That's one of those games. I don't like either one of those teams. I really don't care necessarily outside of what's the best for Tennessee. And I mean, this is not like set in stone. I'm going to come back and give my thoughts again on Saturday after I really watch some film on both of these teams. But right now, I could definitely see, just like you said, Tim, really either one of them winning. But I just think that having a really strong running game versus Alabama's defense is, especially having a guy that's breaking all those tackles, I think that's a bad look for them, because I think that their defense is soft. I think that, they might run for 250, 300 yards in that game because their defense is so damn soft. All right, so I'm going to get to this last one, y'all, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This one's from JPatt saying that Eli, or whatever his name is, can beat them, but Eli isn't the guy, and that the players have to take control. If the players really want it, they can pull it off. Eli ain't the guy. Okay, I think that's maybe that's a fair point because I don't like him personally. So maybe he's the one that ends up blowing it for him. That would be fine with me. I don't care. But with all that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I will be back tomorrow with something. Not quite sure what that's going to be. But thank y'all so much, and we'll be talking to y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Have a great night.
Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. There we go.